This capsule is presented by Canadian Heritage. You are looking at Remember Flanders, the monument to Lieutenant Colonel John McCrae, a Canadian poet, doctor, and soldier who wrote the most famous poem to come out of the First World War. His poem, In Flanders Fields, is often read at Remembrance Day ceremonies across the country. This sculpture, called Remember Flanders, was unveiled in 2015 by the Royal Regiment of Canadian Artillery, 100 years after John McCrae wrote and published In Flanders Fields in 1915. John McCrae practiced medicine in Montreal. He wrote poems from a young age, and several were published. As a young man, he enlisted in the militia and served in the South African War. Not long after the start of the First World War in 1914, McCrae volunteered for military service. He was a major and brigade surgeon in the 1st Brigade of the Canadian Field Artillery. That's why his statue has been placed here, beside Canada's National Artillery Memorial. McCrae later served at the No. 3 Canadian General Hospital in France until his death from pneumonia in 1918. McCrae was moved to write the poem, In Flanders Fields, after the Second Battle of Ypres in Belgium, where he attended the wounded and lost a good friend. In the aftermath of the battle, the dead were buried in a field of poppies, in graves marked by simple wooden crosses. The poem quickly gained popularity, and it inspired the use of the poppy as a symbol to remember and honor those who have died in war. This bronze sculpture by Ontario artist Ruth Abernathy shows McCrae as he writes his famous poem. He is taking a moment of quiet reflection despite the devastation of war that surrounds him. The details of this sculpture tell us a bit about John McCrae. On his uniform, his major's rank is visible. The medical bag at his feet shows his profession as a doctor, and the gunner badge on his cap and the grenades on his lapels represent his service with the Canadian Field Artillery. Select the clip In Flanders Fields to listen to the poem now.